Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Thursday, the 23rd of September. This morning, I'd just like to talk to you about something really basic, something that we probably all deal with. And it's one of those days. Have you ever had one of those days when you get up on the proverbial wrong side of the bed? You go to pour your coffee, I have a Keurig, put your coffee in, you push the button, and then realize after you've walked away, you can hear the coffee dripping that you forgot to put your mug underneath it. Coffee's now all over the counter. You're going to make your eggs. You really like a nice runny yolk for your egg sandwich, and you get there and realize that you broke the yolk when you dropped it in the pan. It's just one of those, you've been awake for 10 minutes and everything's gone wrong. Those days happen to everybody, and they happen to me too. I'm a pretty even-keeled person. Haven't always been. Gotta admit, it's taken me 50 years to get there, but I don't fly off the handle too much anymore. In my younger days, I did, but now I'm pretty even-keeled. But every once in a while, it seems like you just want to crawl back in bed and start all over again. What happens? I don't know why those days happen. Whether we just had a bad sleep or just bad luck, or I don't know. But something seems to happen, and everything seems to be kind of off kilter. It's sort of like thinking of it. Remember back in math when you learned about degrees on a compass, and I think it was called a compass. I can't remember. Anyway, a protractor, on the protractor, and if you draw a line and it's going, say, straight up 90 degrees, going straight up, and if you move that line just a little bit, even just 1 degree, and leave it off by 1 degree, and you leave it off the whole time your pencil's traveling by that 1 degree, it's amazing that by the end of the page, how far off that 1 degree has taken you as you travel through your math project. Well, the same thing's like that for our days. If we take 1 or 2 degrees, or sometimes even 10 or 12 degrees off the center mark, and continue on that course like that all day, imagine where we're going to end up. If we're upset that our egg broke in the morning and that we've poured our coffee all over the counter, what's it going to be like by the time we hit lunchtime or supper time, or time to do homework with the kids, or drive them to Boy Scouts or to skating, or tuck them into bed when they don't want to go to bed? We are not going to have a good day. We need a course correction. We need to take advantage of the fact that God allows us at any time that we want, at any time that we realize we need a course correction. God says, great, step on the brakes, stop, breathe, pray, correct the course, bring that from the 12 degrees off, bring it back to center, bring it back to where it needs to be. Now, that doesn't mean that just because we've calmed down and realized that things aren't maybe as bad as we thought they were, or maybe they are, but we realize that our reaction to how bad they are isn't helping us. That doesn't mean that the course correction is going to be easy or immediate, and it doesn't mean that we aren't going to have some difficulties trying to get back on track and to clean up the things that we have done while we've been off course. Those things are there. Those are consequences of the decisions we've made, the actions we've taken. But we still have this incredible opportunity to course correct, to say to God, okay, here you go. Okay, God, on my own, my GPS isn't working, but you can be my GPS. You can be my God's positional system. You can show me where I need to be and how I need to get there. But it takes effort. It takes not so much forethought. It takes thought and awareness that we have gone off track. That somewhere, even if we don't realize how, or even if it's something that we didn't do, maybe we got up on the wrong side of the bed because we were up all night with a sick child and we're just really tired. Or maybe we were having nightmares, or we forgot something and our subconscious is trying to remind us. Who knows? Either way, we need to get to that place where we can say to God, okay, God, I need your help. Please guide me. Please help me to realize where you want me to be. Because the truth is that where God wants us to be is always going to be better than where we force ourselves to be. I've learned that the hard way over the years, that I have my ideas and my plans and my dreams, and lots of times those have happened. God has not forced me. He has allowed God allows us our free will. And I have been, plowed ahead in my own path. And this is what I'm going to do. And then I get there and discover, it's not bad. This is what I wanted. But somehow it's not quite satisfying. What's the problem? And then when I humble myself and go back to God and say, okay, all right, what was your call for me? What was it you wanted me to do? I realize that although what God may have wanted me to do wasn't something I thought I wanted to do, it was the best thing for me. And when we have that best thing for us, everything else falls into place. It's like when I was a little girl, I used to get really bad pneumonia and bronchitis and chest congestion. And I'd cough and cough and cough and cough. And it was uncomfortable. It hurt. It kept everybody else in the house awake. And it was just, I just wanted to sleep. I wanted to be able to not cough. I wanted to be able to breathe. And I remember one time I was probably about 6 or 7, maybe 8. And we were at the farm, my grandparents' farm. And it was late at night. When everybody gathered on weekends, people stayed up late. They played euchre, they played cards, and they talked, and they'd have coffee and snacks. And sometimes they'd break out the whiskey bottle and have a shot. But people stayed up late talking because it was family coming together who normally wasn't together. So they stayed up. So this was pretty late because everybody was in bed. And I remember my mom coming down, bringing me downstairs into the big old farm kitchen and sitting at the big kitchen table. And my grandpa was there, and he pulled out the whiskey bottle, and he told my mom to give me a shot. So my grandma had these little juice glasses, little tiny glasses, and so he pulled out one of those, and he put a little shot of whiskey in it and told me to drink it fast. Now, to me, that shot was like this much. I think it was probably like this much. And I don't recommend anybody giving their children whiskey. But I downed that whiskey and it burned so bad. Now, the first lesson that I learned there was that I really don't like alcohol. I learned that at a young age, and that has done well by me for most of my life. There have been moments, but that was a good lesson to learn. But it also calmed me down. It slowed everything down, and it made me tired. So while I still had to cough, I relaxed and I calmed down enough that I could get some sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I was rested and my body had begun to heal. Now, it still took me a while to get over whatever was wrong with me, but in that moment, I was given something that I didn't want to have, some medicine that I didn't want to take that helped me feel better. And that's what God does for us. When we make our own decisions and we go flying off, having one of those days, if and when we are willing to say, okay, God, I know that your plan is better than any plan I have, and I'm willing to follow you, and I trust you that where you're asking me to go will not be detrimental or painful, I'll follow you. When we do that, when we follow God's course correction, we end up in a better place than we ever would have ended up on our own. And so on days like this, when, you sort of have a rough day, you get out, you put your feet down on the side of the bed and just wish you could crawl right back in, and everything's kind of going sideways. As soon as you realize it's gone sideways, stop. Stop moving sideways. Drop to your knees and say a prayer and ask God for God's mercy and intervention, and just say, I don't know whether I've screwed up, God, and this is my doing, or if this is just life happening, but I can't go on like this. I can't let the rest of my day feel like this, or my family be punished for how I'm feeling because of how I'm acting. So take a deep breath, confess to God, and ask that God would put you back on the right direction. And probably even that simple prayer will start that course correction quickly. So I pray that you will have a good day. And if you did start your day out on the wrong foot, or got out of the wrong side of the bed, or you poured your coffee all over the counter, whatever happened, take a deep breath and start anew. That's the gift that we've been given in Jesus Christ. We always get a fresh start. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy the coffee that makes it into your cup. Enjoy that egg, however it might be on your sandwich, and allow yourself to allow God to take control of your course today. God bless you, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.